Hey there guys, thanks for joining us on another board game night. Tonight we're doing something a little different. We're actually playing the North Sea Runesaga from Garphill Games, Shim Phillips, the designer. So, if you're not familiar, it's where you play the three different games that he's designed in this sort of trilogy of stories. The first one being Shipwrights of the North Sea, which is the one we've just completed. We have done an overview of this already, so we can put a link down below and you can go check out how that game works. But what we're doing here is we're just basically going through the rules of the Runesaga and what happened in the games that we played. So we've just completed the first game of Shipwrights, and with me I have Molo.
Hello.
Dave.
Hi.
And Martin. This is Martin's copy of the whole series. So basically what happened was we played the first game of Shipwrights, and like I said, you can go check out our overview of how this works. What happened during the game was I have won the overall game, which gives me 2 runes. Now the runes are basically how you win the Runesaga. The most runes at the end of the game wins.
Yeah.
So I've got 3 runes, 2 for winning this game, and we have these little things as well. So the first game we played, which is Shipwrights, is the winner gets 2 runes, and then if someone ends within 3 points in second place, then they would get the final rune. But unfortunately, I smashed these guys, so none of them got a rune. But I did complete an in-game rune, which was gain 9 military points, which, as you can see, by my ships were all military based, which allows me a new ability for the next game we're gonna play, which is Raiders of the North Sea. So we'll do an end cap with that one as well. Martin also completed the rune. What did you do, Martin?
I did. I bought goods 4 times in one turn.
Which is really expensive.
So yes, it was. So next turn, or next game, Raiders, when making or after making an offering, I can offer 1 or 2 silver for a VP each.
Okay. And
whether
you ended on
useful.
9 points this
9
game.
points,
9
yeah.
points. I had 15, which is why Martin came second, and he's not got the extra rune.
What I do like about this one is, though, this one's got 2. It's got the sort of shield and the drinking horn symbol on. And
mine's only got the drinking horn.
But there's other sort of like objectives that last the whole game, and so when one person gets the 3rd one of those symbols, you'll win one of those as well, which is obviously another rune for you to.
So Martin's a third of a way into that
Conceivably,
first one.
I suppose you could potentially get 2 of those in one go.
Yeah, especially if you keep going like that. The other person who came third was Dave, and obviously by default, Molo's last.
Yeah, we were tied on score, by the way, but then Dave made me look up the tiebreaker and he lost out. So.
Most gold.
Yeah.
Dave's also completed a rune during the game, which was what again, Dave?
Construct 3 buildings.
That's right, yes.
It allows me in the next game to draw 1 card after taking a treasury action.
Oh, I like
which
that.
Seems pretty good as well.
Yeah, I do like that one.
So those 2 guys ended at 9, Molo was 8, and I had 15. We've completed the runes. Obviously this rune will just be discarded. And now we'll set up for the next game, which is Raiders of the North Sea. And a similar sort of thing will come out. 3 runes that we can complete during the game. And then
that are obviously pertain specifically to Raiders of the North Sea as well, so it'll have specific Raiders of the North Sea objectives on.
Yeah,
and then
just
obviously
like
a reward which will be good for Explorers of the North Sea.
Which we've not actually played yet, and
we haven't. And I'm interested to see what the runes are going to be for that as well, because obviously there's no 4th game to then benefit from. So
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Alright, so is there anything you guys want to say about this game?
No, it's good. I liked it. It was good fun, and it was all very close as well. All of us had 3 ships, and it was basically that last turn who can build their 4th, and then it was obviously down to points. But it was good fun.
This was also Dave's first play of this particular game.
Yeah.
So what did you think of it, Dave?
I enjoyed it. It's got a good combination of everything. You know, dicking over your opponents to building stuff, which I always like building stuff and making my own little towns and villages. And it's not overly complicated. It's one of these games that sound more complicated when you read the rules and explain them than it is to play.
Yeah, it goes pretty quick, the turns as well.
Unless it's Molo's turn.
Well, isn't that the 4th game you've come last in today?
Shut up. This is an overall game we're playing at the moment.
Oh, right, that's right, yeah.
So we'll lose that as well.
Anyway, yeah, this is this next game, as Dave points out, it's a game where you can both build something up, which is always nice, and you can lose yourself in building thing, and then you can kick over somebody else's sandcastle. Excellent game.
I love that analogy. Good show.
I also wonder, because of the Runesaga element, because I think this was probably my most enjoyable game of this, and I wonder whether it was the the runes and things that are really that
extra
added
objective.
element that made it a bit more
Well,
interesting.
this was surprisingly less snippy than the last game I had. Although that might have been because Tony wrecked me in Raiders and I was getting him back for a lot of that game.
I also think it was actually maybe to do with this, that the
Yeah.
fact that it wasn't so aggressive, because we were all trying to achieve objectives. I mean, we all went for the buildings one at one point as well. It's just that Dave had the turn before us, so that was that. Okay, so we're going to pack this up, and then we're going to set up Raiders, and we'll come back to you in a minute with what we thought of that one, and how we did in that one. Right, so we've just completed game 2, Raiders of the North Sea, and in last place was Molo with 36 points. But in Molo's favour, he did complete one of the sort of achievement goals over here, which was make 5 offerings.
Yeah.
So it gives him an ability next turn. Also gives him one of the horns, which is obviously to go for that. I'm not sure if he can complete it. We'll see how the runes come out next turn. So Molo's got a 1 rune so far. In third place was Martin with 43 points. Martin, did you complete? You also completed one, didn't you?
Take 6 Valkyries.
Yeah, you got a lot.
That actually is one of the reasons that I had quite a slow start, to be honest, because
It was going for
all of my guys were just dying, and it meant everyone's dead. Then I have to basically reset and start again and try and build up again. And so I don't know whether it was a good move or not. I came third,
But-
so maybe not.
That does mean you have 2 ruins, and also Martin has 2 of each of the symbols. So he's got 2 horns and 2 shields, which means 1 more of each or 1 of any of them, except the hammers, obviously, in the next round, and he gets a bonus achievement for the top.
Yeah, which is good. Which is going to be interesting. I don't know how.
In second place was Dave. Well done, Dave. Obviously, Dave he finished within 5 points, as you can. My thing's full of resources now, but she shows you there in the second game. Come on, if you finish within 5 points in second place, you get the other rune, which was over there. So Dave's got 2 runes, Martin's got 2, Molo's got 1, but of course I've won, so I've got 5 runes.
Yeah, we're disgusted as well. One again.
I
And
think he's cheating.
53 points. But in this particular game, I didn't get any of the new abilities, so I've got 4 blank runes, and then the one which I used in this game, and then I've only got the 1 horn. So basically, my eggs are in winning the games rather than actually getting
It's
abilities.
not bad though, because if I tie with you, you're going to have the most game wins because it goes to face down. That's what breaks the ties. So,
Oh, right.
so actually stands you in good stead, even if you get none in the next game. So if I get my 1 that then gives me the 2 with horns, I'm going to have 5, but I have to actually get more than you.
Oh, right,
So
okay.
I'll have to do well as well.
I never realised that. Alright, so that was us playing Raiders. So far, I think only Dave has not played this before, isn't it?
Again, yes.
Yes, what did you think of this one?
I like worker placements. This is the first one I've ever played where you only get 1 worker, but I like the mechanic of put down, pick 1 back. You never seem to get stuck of what to do. Once or
You
twice.
can't get blocked out, really.
Yeah, exactly. There was once or twice where I had to go, I'll take that, but I would have rather done something else.
Or the order, you know, I really want to be doing that one first, but I
well, yeah.
can't. So I'm going to do
Yeah.
it second, which means I've got to wait till next
It's
round.
always ideal for barracks to be the second action. And that, yeah.
Kind of always happen.
Suppose, yeah.
For me, the game, you know, it is like luck of the draw. Like there's quite a few times the crew I had give me bonus points for taking harbours, then I had crew for taking outposts, and I always just seem to get pipped to the post for taking the outposts.
I never heard Martin complain about that.
Yeah, Milo was in my head in that game.
I thought what was quite interesting is I had a ruin that basically from the previous game that I won, that every time I spend 2 silver in the armory, I can get 2 armor. So I spent quite a lot to move up on the armor track quite quickly. But then towards the end of the game, I didn't actually spend a lot of time attacking Instead, I finished off. This is the first time I've seen the game finish when we run out of the offerings track, and I bought quite a lot of offerings on the last turn.
As did everybody else, in fact.
Yeah.
But there was a rune out, wasn't there, for five offerings?
Yeah.
And so I think that kind of coloured people's early turns, where people started to like really try and press for it.
To be fair though, we did get blocked on the offerings for a long
Yeah,
time.
it was
All the
bad.
cows.
Yeah. Every single one needed a minimum of 2 cattle, and Jason was the only one that had any cattle, so it was very. And he was like, "No, I'm not going to spend any," because it basically opens up for more. Then,
Yeah, that was an interesting game. It's not a massively. I don't think it was massive high scoring. I mean,
I've seen us go round here before, so.
But it was really tight, interesting. I thought it was really good. We added obviously we had some new crew from the Runesaga deck, and that's pretty much it. So we've completed game 2, and now we're on to the actual third game, which is Explorers.
Which none of us have played.
Yeah, so this is going to be an interesting one. We'll be back in a few minutes with that. Okay, so we finished game 3, which was Explorers of the North Sea. Just FYI, we've done an overview of this, which you can check out on the channel. We also did one for Raiders, which I never said earlier. So we played all 3 games. We've figured out who's won. First we'll talk about Explorers. Milo, should we just say you came last again?
No, I won. Did you not know this?
You came last in Explorers. You stuck with... How many runes did you make throughout the 3 games in the campaign? 1. Good job, Milo.
So basically, last in Shipwrights, last in Raiders, last in Explorers, last in the whole Runesaga.
But did you have fun?
Well, not now. Yeah, I really liked the first 2 games, so just getting to play them was great, and I like this sort of playing for the things and getting the little special abilities. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. Alright, so...
That's as excited as ball as he gets, to be honest.
Well, actually, we're only talking about what this particular game... Oh, I'll show you the map, by the way. This is how our map looked. So it's pretty cool. Martin won this by a freaking landslide.
I needed to as well, to put some pressure on. I worked very hard to get a bunch of runes.
What was really cool is he got... obviously, you saw in the first couple of games, he got runes that gave the shield.
These 2, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then in the third one... He did really well connecting up this huge landmass with the 3 things, which got him this one, which completed his trifecta of horns and shields, which gave him these 2. So that is 5 face-up runes, which is super good. And then, of course, he won this game, which gave him 2 of the face-down runes, so that ended him up with 7 runes. Myself, should we? Yeah, let's do me. What the hell? I killed 4 enemy ships this game, and I also raided
under contention.
Thanks a lot, Dave.
They basically just put an enemy ship in front of him, and it was like, what the?
Because he was trying to complete his goal and didn't realise what I was up to. So I managed to complete both of those face-up achievements, but I didn't gain any other tasks because I was way behind Martin. Even though I came second place, you needed to be within 5 points. I think I was around within 20 points.
It literally did come down to that as well, didn't it? Because I've got 4 dead enemy ships as well. So if I'd have done it before you, I'd have had that tile, and then I would have actually...
8, and I would have had 6.
Yeah.
But as it is, we've got 7 apiece. So the tiebreaker is broke by the most face down.
Which is essentially how well you did in the game. Yeah. So you get 2 face downs for a win and 1 face down for a second. I've got 2 face downs because I won this one and did appallingly in the others. And Jason won the first 2, so that's that. So it's basically Jason won and I came second, sadly.
Runesaga champion!
And Dave came third with his
2
one up, 1 down thing.
Yeah. So, that's the campaign completed. We've played all 3 games tonight, and we've added all the bits in. So now we can talk. Obviously, we mentioned about this game, this game where Martin smashed us. It's a very light, easy game, very quick, nice way to finish off the campaign as well. because you're playing what's the first one? Shipwrights. It's really a nut punchy game. Everyone's getting kicked in the bollocks a lot. And then you go to Raiders, which is a little bit heavier than the others, but not by much. But a lot, probably the best out of the three. So you get the nice, good, strong game in the middle, and then you finish off with a really light, fast, quick game over here. And I'll tell you what, I think these add a lot more to this game as well, because it gives you like these secret goals. Not secret because they're open to everyone, but to go for.
So some secret, not secret.
Yeah,
goals.
It's just the objective, just something to aim for, isn't it? It made
Stuff like that makes it worse that I'm losing too.
This is the guy that lost counting to 5.
Yes.
All right, so Milo's already given his opinion that he liked, obviously the first two better than this one, and overall you like the campaign.
Yeah, I like the way it sort of locks it together. It doesn't define any of the games, but it gives you that little boost when you get the bonuses, and it
Come on,
gives you
move that closer to you.
a different. And the scoring is completely different. You're not just taking the points that you have to acquire something that's outside of the game to win overall.
Yeah, that was really cool and unique. Would you do the campaign again?
Yeah, I'll give that a go again.
Play all 3 games in one night or something like that again?
Yeah,
Lose all 3 games again.
Yeah.
He can't possibly do worse.
Do worse, yeah.
Well, actually, he can get one less rune, I suppose.
So, if you had to rate the campaign as a whole out of 10, what would you say?
I think simply because of how good the first 2 games are and how nicely it meshes together, I don't know. I would guess maybe an 8 for it.
Okay, it's really quite tough to rate this sort of thing.
Yeah.
How about you, Dave? You
Yeah.
played, for the first time, all 3 games tonight. You did pretty well in all 3 of them. You beat Molo, so I suppose that's not too much to say.
Stop throwing stuff.
But what did you think overall of the campaign, the 3 different games, the overall objectives, that sort of thing?
Yeah, I really enjoyed the first 2 games. As I've said in the other video, this game just left me wanting a little bit more from it.
Yeah.
I definitely missed the ability to essentially dick you over. There's nothing in this
Well, you did
apart
quite
from
the
like
opposite.
blocking, yeah, and by everyone's permission, I dicked over Martin just by giving Jason the game, but
Well,
I also dicked
to
over
be fair,
myself.
it would have won me the game if you hadn't. Probably won me the game anyway if you hadn't done that. So,
But either way, again, I would probably agree. The campaign as a whole is probably a good 7.5, 8 score out of 10. But yeah, would I play it again? Yeah, because playing all games for the first time tonight, I was learning as well as playing. Where I think I'd like to play it again.
With knowing a bit more.
Knowing
on
a
the
bit
plus
more.
side, none of them are particularly complicated, though, are they?
That is a plus. You can play them for the first time. I mean, essentially I came second in the first 2 games, third in this one, but with only a point between me and Jason.
And if you'd remember to bring
Yes,
the dude with...
if I'd have remembered to take the guy with me instead of leaving him on the
Comfortably
mainland, I'd have comfortably come second.
3 seconds
But the
in a
game
row.
doesn't compensate for stupidity.
Let's look at him.
Yeah.
Alright, Martin, as the runner-up in the Runesaga campaign, what did you
Just. I really liked it. I think the campaign is probably better than the sum of its parts, to be honest. And that's not to say the parts aren't good. And it's actually really simple, really straightforward what it does. But what it's done is really clever and just it's sort of subtly linked the games together. And it's made it's put an importance on the games. And even this last one, where obviously we weren't playing for abilities in the next game because it was done by then, it just gave you something to aim for. Like I was actively aiming for the runes because I knew if I got the runes I could basically potentially
Well, there was
snatch first place off you sort of thing.
overall achievements right at the top that you couldn't really get in the first 2, so you were aiming for them in this one.
Yeah, I think you possibly could have got it by the second game, but you'd have had to have had like the stars
Really
align
luck,
almost, yeah. But no, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. It was about
David, it looks like you're wanking under the table.
Who says I wasn't?
it was a roughly, I suppose,
Roughly?
6 hours
To play all 3.
which is pretty good. And, you know, we did a campaign start to finish. And obviously, none of us had played this one, so it was a bit of a learning experience for this as well. But no, I thought it was really good, and I'd definitely play it again. And I think as a campaign, for one evening, which is pretty rare, I think I'd probably give it a 9.
Yeah, I think it was really good as well. I really enjoyed it. I think it adds... Raiders is the best out of the 3 for me.
Yeah, definitely.
And Shipwrights is actually quite a fun game, especially when you put it in the overall campaign like this does.
Well, I mean, on that note, I think Raiders is a great standalone game regardless, but with Shipwrights and Explorers, both of them seem okay. Obviously, I've only experienced this once, but the addition of the Runesaga thing, I think, elevated them both to be much better.
Yeah.
I thought that game of Shipwrights we had was definitely the best we've played so far. It was a really good game, and I suspect that this is the same sort of situation because of that fairly simple addition of the campaign element.
The overall expansion, what these do. And what we never mentioned, the ones that we were using face down obviously have different goals on them as well. So the next time you play the campaign, you might have a completely different set of achievements to go for. So there's a little bit of replayability in that as well.
There's 6 runes for each game essentially, so, and you get 3.
I think the Runesaga is almost a must. But you don't have to play this in all one night like we did. You can play it over a weekend. Or
Definitely, But it's not particularly. It's not like Road to Legend or something like that where you're setting aside 3 months to play it. You can comfortably play it in an evening.
I definitely think it elevated 2 average games to 2 good games, and a good game stays good. I mean, I thought it was really fun how. Even when we started this game, even like as a new game, we were so excited. We're like, oh man, we need to push for these runes and stuff like that. Gave you like secret goal, well, not secret, I keep saying secret, but it's like, I think of it as secret missions. It's like I'm looking at these things going, if I can do this, I can...
To a degree though, they are secret because in your head, you're like, I'm aiming for that. And you don't want to draw attention to it to other people because they are shared objectives, if you like, but the first person to score it gets it.
Yeah.
So... They're kind of secret to you. You don't want to be too overt. Obviously, it was bloody obvious what I was doing there, but I didn't mind that because I didn't think anyone was in a position to do anything about it. So that was fine. But some of the others, you really do need to be quite subtle about it and try not to draw attention to it.
So it's definitely worth it. I definitely think playing this all in one go. I definitely play it again for sure. And I think it'll be really interesting to try it again with a completely different group as well. I know Tony wants to play this, so we're definitely
what a shock! He loves the first 2 certainly.
Yeah, and we can't play with Tony and Molo in the same group because then it's just me and you fighting for first place again. But no, I think 8.5 and 9 is a really fair score for the overall campaign of what this brings. When it brings 3 games like this, and the theme fits well as well. Molo was saying earlier, like the first game, Shipwrights, you're building your ships. Getting ready to expand out into the ocean and explore, Raiders. You go raiding the monasteries and stuff for extra resources, and then this one kind of fudges it at the end.
Well, you're then exploring out beyond that immediate surroundings, aren't you?
You're settling out in the world.
But no, that was very good. I was very impressed with this. I definitely recommend this, and I think you guys would as well, wouldn't you say?
I absolutely do, yeah.
Definitely.
And to be fair, overall, the boxes are really small. You get a good game in a small box. The components are awesome. I mean, I love the components in this game, but in Raiders, you've got those metal coins and everything that look awesome. The artwork's great throughout, and obviously done by the same artist throughout as well, so it gives that kind of sense of linking them together and whatnot. I think it's really done a really good job.
Yeah, same here. And the games are really quick as well. Every game we played tonight, I've been saying, man, that was going really quick. Except when Milo was trying to figure out,
how to count to 5.
But yeah, we definitely liked this. That was fun. That was super fun. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope the video made sense. The way we've done this, the way I think it will make sense, cutting through the 3, putting some pictures in here for you guys to look at, and then talking about what we thought as an overall campaign, maybe links to the other videos. So thanks for watching, thanks for bearing with us, and thanks for playing, guys.
It is probably worth saying, if you do watch the Shipwrights and Raiders videos that are on this channel as well, they are not part of this campaign. They were completely standalone before this came out.
That's true, yeah.
Don't watch them and go, who the hell's that guy?
It's like musical chairs.
Yeah.
You lost, get out. Thanks for watching, guys.
Bye.
Good.
Turn up.